Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla Rose and I'm going to take you through a small Pilates workout today. We're in a beautiful location in Bali, so I just couldn't help myself but get onto my mat. All you're going to need is a mat and yourself, so no equipment needed. We're going to start you off by sitting nice and tall onto your mat, feet together, point those toes. You can wriggle around to find your nice center. You bring those shoulders back and down and make sure your chin is just slightly tucked in. Inhale, prepare your T-zone. Exhale, tuck that pelvis under. We're going to come back into our Pilates C curve. Press back up. Exhale. So think about bringing your belly button in towards your spine. Tucking under so slightly so that you come into that nice C-curve, switching those abdominals on. Arms are just on your thighs at the moment. We're going to do one more and we're going to hold it down in that C-curve position. I want you to go ahead and bring both arms up into almost a ballerina stance. And just take a few breaths here in the center. From here, inhale in the center, exhale, bring those arms to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. So your abdominals should be feeling this right now. You should be holding them in nice and tight, supporting yourself. Just a gentle twist to the right and to the left. Nice work, guys. From here, bring yourself to center and go ahead and lift those arms up and down. Combo, left, right to left, up. So we just added that central movement in here. As you bring those arms up, you should be feeling those abdominals switch on even more. Last one. And then slowly supporting yourself, roll yourself back until your elbows. Bring those shoulders back and down, keeping your body upright. Press your elbows into the ground again. My abdominals are nice and switched on. Point the toes, hold this position here. So really squeeze your legs together, point the toes. Press through your elbows, holding yourself upright. And from here, you're just going to bring your right arm up without tilting your body. That's the challenge. So your arm comes up. You should feel that working your abdominals as well. Bring it back into center, other side. So if you feel your body shake a little bit here and there, that means you're doing this move correctly. Back in. Right hand goes up, hold a few breaths here. And left side. Don't know about you guys, but I can feel that working my abdominals. Think about drawing your ribs in towards your hips. So really pulling those ribs down towards your hips. Pointing those toes, squeezing the legs together, pressing through the elbows. Now if you want a bit of a challenge, you're going to bring both arms up and hold here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Think ribs to hips. Shoulders back and down. I'm really shaking. I don't know about you guys at home. And then I want you to just come up and down, giving me a few pulses. If you are postnatal, I want you to go and check your abdominals. And check if there's any doming. If there's any doming happening, then you got to check out my program. It's going to help you heal and give you a nice strong core. Last one here, hold it down, few more seconds and release, bringing yourself back onto your elbows. And then safely bring yourself down all the way onto the mat. Stretch those arms up overhead and take a few breaths in and out here. Bringing those arms back down, bending those knees. Nice neutral spine position. Inhale, prepare your T-zone. Exhale, the left leg goes up, point the toe, lift it up, flex the foot, bring it down. So really think length. I want you to control this stabilizing leg so that the knee is not flaring out. And really use your abdominals to bring that leg up and down. Point the toe, lengthen through that foot. Last one. And release. Go ahead and do the other side. So really think ribs to hips for this one. If you want a little bit more of a challenge here, go ahead and lift those arms overhead and hold them, maintaining that rib to hip connection. Keeping that left knee pointing up. Final one here. And release. Release those arms to center. Bring those feet up so they're nice and bent, hip distance apart. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl the bum under so you're pressing your lower back into the mat. And lift up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hold, exhale, back down. And again. Inhale, curl the bottom under, press the lower back into the mat. Squeeze the glutes and lift up. Holding at the top, squeezing the glutes, ribs to hips. That's it, really good job, guys. Again, for this position, watch that your knees are not flaring outwards. And I want you to go ahead and for this one, hold it right up at the top. So just hold that position, think ribs pulling down towards your hips, squeeze the glutes, press your big toe into the ground to switch your inner thighs on. And here I want you to just lift up that right heel, back down, left heel. So alternating sides, but really squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips. Keeping that control. And then we're going to go into some small pulses, so just pulsing up and down. Really tiny movement, but I really want you to switch those glutes on. You should not be feeling this in your lower back. If you are, I want you to go ahead and reset that T-zone and come back into position. One more here and then up and hold. And for those who want more of a challenge, I want you to open up those knees, close them, open, back to center. So again, a tiny subtle movement. Watch your abdominals, really pull those ribs in towards your hips. Almost there, you're doing so well. One more. and slowly roll back down. Nice work. Bringing those knees in towards your chest, rolling from side to side. Coming onto your sides. A long line between your arm, your hand, your shoulder, and your hip. Go ahead and bring those knees so that they're just in line with your hip, and squeeze your heels together. Make sure there's a little space between your hip and the mat, so go ahead and press that top hip down to make sure that nice gap exists. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift both heels off the ground. Hold this position here. Inhale, prepare your T-zone. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Lift that knee up and down. So I want you to squeeze the glute before lifting that knee. Really squeeze the heels. And make sure the hips are nice and stacked. For this one, we're not wobbling forwards and backwards. If you are, you need to go ahead and switch on that T-zone. So if that means resetting, then go ahead and do that. Really nice work, guys. We're going to switch up the movement here. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze. Open that knee. Kick that leg out. Back in. So going into some clam kick outs. Really squeezing that glute and really lengthening through the toe as you kick out. Now I'm starting to feel that glute switch on. Keep those hips nice and stacked. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and open that leg. Flex the feet and just give me some small pulses here. So a tiny movement, just opening and closing that knee, but you can really feel it. So really flex the feet, squeeze the heels together. And release. Go ahead and tap that bum out. Before we do the other side, I want you to go right onto your fronts. So coming onto your fronts, your hands are up on the top of your mat. Rest your forehead onto your hands. Feet are hip width apart, and I want you to press your pubic bone into the mat. So T-zone is nice and tight, ribs to hips. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Lift those legs up, and I want you to start beating those heels together. So inhale for a few beats. Exhale for a few beats, squeezing the glutes to lift your feet up. Relax your neck and just slightly rest your forehead onto the mat, your hands. So if you want to make this more challenging, then squeeze the glutes to lift a little more. But only lift as high as you can without hurting your lower back. Point the toes. Three, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring those legs into a nice diamond shape. Squeezing your heels together, pointing your toes. Again, pressing your pubic bone into the mat. T-zone nice and tight. Prepare, squeeze, and lift those legs off the ground, back down. So you're squeezing your glutes together to lift your thighs slightly off the ground. Lifting on the exhale. Squeeze those heels together, point the toes. Keep those elbows onto the mat. Last one, and hold it up there. Hold. Keep holding for me. Squeeze those glutes. And release. Really nice work. Let's go ahead and do the other side for those clams. A nice long line. Make sure your knees are in line with those hips. Squeeze the heels together. Lift up those legs. Inhale, prepare your T-zone. Exhale, lift that knee up and down. Make sure you want to have a nice little gap between your hip and the mat. So if you need to use your top hand to press down the other, then you can do that. Think ribs to hips. Really tightening that T-zone. Making sure you're in control of this movement. It's always harder to do one side over the other. And it's usually harder to do the second round because your glutes are getting tired. Last one here, and we're going to go into that kick out. Inhale, prepare, exhale, open up that leg, kicking it out, lengthening through that toe. So really exhale as you kick out. Keeping those hips nice and stacked. Point, point, point through the toe. We've got one more here. Bringing those legs together, opening up, flexing the feet. And you're just gonna pulse, pulse, pulse. Tiny movement, just lifting that knee up and down. Squeeze the heels together. Woo! Can really feel that one. Getting nice up in there in those glutes. And release. Go ahead and tap that bum out. And bring yourself up into a central position. Open up those knees, pull back with those hips and stretch. Go onto your elbows or even further into the stretch. A nice child's pose. Just taking a few breaths here. And from here, come up onto your hands. Bring your right leg underneath you so that your shin is nice and parallel. And just come into a nice pigeon pose. Your left leg is nice and extended behind you. If you want to feel the stretch a little bit more, go ahead and stretch out those arms, placing your forehead down to the mat. And other side. and release. Thank you so much, guys. That's it from me. If you enjoyed this workout, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe so I know to bring more into your inbox. Hi, boo-boo. Oh, my angel. Are you on the mat with mommy? You on the mat with mommy? Look, you're with mommy.